What's up, YouTube? Dust off your Pi 4s, we're putting Windows on it. Up next. Welcome back to Kelly Tech. Alright, so to do this, you're going to need a few things. First off, you're going to need a Pi 4 and adequate cooling. Don't try to go with this with a bare board. You're going to need cooling. And to power that unit, you're going to need a power adapter. And for audio and video, you're going to need an HDMI cable. And to control this unit, you're going to need a keyboard and mouse. It doesn't matter what kind you have, just keyboard and mouse. And finally, you're going to need an SSD. So this is the SSD that I took out of my NVIDIA Shield. I knew I was going to be able to use this in something, and this is perfect. So this is not an 870, this is actually an 860. 860 Evo 500 gigabyte. Perfect for the job. And to hook the SSD into the Pi, you have to have some kind of case. So a lot of people go with the adapter. I want the case. So this is from a company, I think it's called Zanzang. I probably butchered that name. Let's see if we can get this thing open. And this was $6, guys. I'll leave a link in the description below. But here's the case. It's pretty sharp. Not bad. Here's the cable. And some literature. Alright. Oh wow, it's a nice cable. This isn't bad at all. So far so good. Alright, so it's supposed to be super easy. Okay. Nice. So that's going to be real simple. And this is to clear up the space. Little foam pads. So let's give it a shot. Should be pretty easy. Oh, it doesn't get better than that. And just stick these guys just like that. You peel the tape off on the back, but I'm doing it to save time. Look at that, guys. Doesn't get easier than that. And now you've got USB 3.0 SSD. When it's all hooked up, it should look something like this. Nice and simple. Now that we got our Pi hooked up, let's head on over to the PC. Alright, back at the PC. If you don't have the newest bootloader, you need to upgrade. If you don't know what that means you probably need to upgrade. So you're going to need an SD card for that. So let's do that first. Let's plug our SD into a SD card reader and then put the reader into our PC. In order to do this, we're going to have to get the Pi imager. So I'll leave a link in the description below. And just click download for Windows. And it's done. Imager. So let's open up. And I'm going to bring this over. Copy. Cut to my desktop. Alright, let's go ahead and double click. Install. And you want to run the Raspberry Pi imager. Click finish. Alright, so choose OS. And we're going to want to go to miscellaneous utility images, bootloader, USB boot. So we've selected USB boot. Now let's select our storage, our SD card. So here's our list of drives. I only have one SD card in there, so here it is, my 32 gig. So I'll select that. And we're going to click write. And overwrite any data on the drive. Yes. And there it is, popped up as drive off. Just X that out. Verify. Nice and easy. USB boot has been written to your drive. You can now remove the SD card from the reader. Click continue. We can exit out of this program. And it's already ejected. Alright, so back at the Pi, let's take our micro SD card out of our SD card reader and install it into the Pi. Once you have the SD card inserted into the Pi, plug in the power cord. And as you can see, you get a green screen. And if you look on the front where the SD card reader is, there is a blinking light. So when it's solid, it's installing. When it starts blinking, it's complete. So as soon as you start seeing blinking, you can unplug the power cord. And now, take out the SD card. Alright, that's simple. Bootloader is updated. Let's head back over to the PC. Alright, back at the PC. First, we're going to need some software. So let's open up a web browser. And we're going to download Tiny11. Right here is what you want. So click that. And it will start downloading. It might take a minute. I'll go ahead and speed this up. And it should be in our downloads folder. So let's look. Downloads. And here's Tiny11. So let's just put that on our desktop. Alright. Now we need to get a different kind of Raspberry Pi imager, WOR. So let's, right here, download version 2.31. There it goes. Took a minute. And done. So now we want to put this on the desktop. Open up downloads. And here it is, WOR. Let's copy that over to the desktop. Shrink this down. And now we have all our software that we need. So let's plug in our SSD. Alright, got my drive plugged in. This is probably an old version of Windows or something on here, but it's going to be formatted. So what we need to do is extract this to a new folder. Let's see, let's make a new folder. Extract to new folder. Nice and quick. Alright, inside of the folder, here is the program, WOR. So let's right click, run as administrator. We can close this now. Alright, this is the program that does all the magic. It kind of has like a installation wizard type vibe going on here. It's not very difficult. So, welcome to Raspberry. Select your language, English, wizard mode. And this is fine. Show only the required options. That's fine. Hit next. And you have to select a drive, so select a drive from the list. And you gotta make sure and get the right drive, guys. Don't mess up here. So here's my 860 Evo 500 gig drive. And device type. So we have a Raspberry Pi 4. If you want to boot your Raspberry Pi 4 from a USB drive, the bootloader must be updated to the latest version, which we've already done. So okay. Hit next and select the image. So that's the image is the Tiny11 that we downloaded. So let's find that. It's on our desktop. Yeah, right here. And Tiny11. Open. And it's mounting the image right now. Okay. Windows Edition, Windows 11 Pro build. Alright. So next. Have to accept this. And here's your installation overview. Make sure everything's correct. Here's the right drive. Here's your Pi. operating system. Nice and easy. So all we have to do is hit install. Alright, this is going to take a while, so I'll speed it up. Alright, and finish. So we're done with the PC side of things for right now. Alright, we need to eject our drive, but a common problem happens here. It won't let the drive go. For instance, I knew it was going to do it. So it will not, no matter what I do, let the drive go. So my best advice would be turn off your PC, unplug your drive, and then turn your PC back on. And I'm going to do that now. Alright, back at the Pi. I got my drive unplugged from my PC, and I'm going to plug it into the Pi. Make sure and plug it in a USB 3.0 port, and plug in the power. I'm going to speed this up a bit because it takes a while. Alright, so United States for me, yes. Yep. And skip. Alright, so this is one of the downfalls right here. You have to either plug in, a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable, Ethernet cable, or you have to use a wireless dongle. So that's the only way you can get internet on the Pi right now. So I'm just going to plug in an Ethernet cord to mine, give it direct access to the internet. You can see it says identifying network connected, and hit next. Checking for updates. Yeah, this first boot, it takes a while. But once you get past this first boot, it actually runs pretty smooth. Alright, looks like we're getting one step closer to being done. Accept. Of course. Next. And a super memorable password. You can just hit next if you don't want one. It gives you a bunch of options that you can turn off. And I'm just going to leave them on, because I want full functionality out of this Windows. I'm curious as to what this little guy could do, this little Pi. Oh, I got a high. Getting things ready. It's never over. It's never over. Oh, would you look at that? I see a Windows screen, guys. Alright, so you have Windows 11 on your Pi. That's amazing that they got everything to work. Oh, except for the Wi-Fi, which is weird. Hopefully that will be taken care of one day. And this is a chopped down version of Windows 11, Tiny 11. That's why they call it Tiny 11, because it doesn't have all the extras in it running, and all the things you don't need to use, they take it out. So, as you can see, I clicked, it takes a few seconds. It's not quite fast enough. I think we can get it to run better than that. So if you restart it, and I think it's you hit escape and it'll take you into a BIOS. So let's do that. Go over to the power and let's just go to restart. And of course have our hand on the escape button. And hit it now. And here we are in a BIOS. So device manager. And then go into Raspberry Pi configuration. And go into CPU configuration. So the default is for 15. I'm just going to go to custom. And change the value in here to, I'm going to go with 1800. If you have good enough cooling, you can go all the way up to 2.1 gigahertz. But I don't know, it's kind of hard on the system and you got to have really good cooling. So there's that. And then I think we go to advanced configuration. And if you look, it says limit RAM to 3 gigabytes. We don't want that. Let's disable that. And go back. Press Y to save and exit. And press escape to exit. And we can just go over to reset. And this boot will be a lot faster. And that was much faster. Alright, well let's check out the speed. That was pretty good. A lot faster than last time. Let's open up a file. Browser. That took a minute. I think it's still booting up. Yeah, that was a lot better. Alright, well let's see if our overclock worked. We can right click down on the bar here. Go to Task Manager. And click this right here. And 1.8. Nice. And the memory is 3.9. This is a 4 gig Pi, so that's what we're looking for. If you have 8, then you're going to have 8 gigs. Alright, well let's try the internet. Alright, so it does load up. It's a bit slow. What is this, Bing? So it is working. I wonder if this thing will play YouTube. That would be funny right there. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, this is probably going to take a minute to load, huh? Oh, it's coming to life. Wow, that's actually a lot to ask out of a Pi. That's pretty impressive, actually. And this is video playing. Like, that's a lot for a Pi to do. This is pretty cool. Let's see. Is it gonna work? What's up, YouTube? In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to take a Raspberry Pi and turn it into an Android streaming device. Interested? Wow, that's actually pretty amazing that it can play this. Huh. Well, so far I'm impressed. This is pretty neat. It's slow, guys. It's not fast by all means, but does it work? It seems to be working. Let's check out the store. I'm not signed in either, so I wonder if they'll give me issues with that. Yup, it all works. You just gotta be patient. It's actually pretty impressive. I think this is the best build I've seen for the Windows Pi. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Well, guys, is it fast? No. Does it work? Yeah. I'm actually really impressed, and I'm sure there's updates to come. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a long one. It took a minute to do this. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, like and subscribe. And as always, have a tech day.